we stand with you, that your friends here in the United States stand with you. We are watching what's happening with China and the abuses that continue, that only get worse every year. And this is a fight for the freedom of Tibet, for the freedom of the Tibetan people, but it is also a fight for the freedom of the human spirit and independence of the human soul. And that's why that is not just your fight, that's the fight for all of us. And so I wanted to be here today to stand with you, to stand with my friends in the Utah Tibetan community, and to let you know that you are not alone. And we are watching what's happening, and we will do everything we can to support you in this cause to restore a free Tibet and to protect the Tibetan people. Thank you.
The next day, the July 2nd, our Tibetan brother, Lobsang Paldenla, known and loved in New York's Tibetan community as Lobga Rangzen, recorded a final message in Tibetan. In it, he spoke not of himself, but of Tibet. He thanked the Tibetans inside Tibet who guarded our language and faith at unimaginable cost. And he called on all of us in exile to work harder and work together. Then at 5:49 in the evening, carrying the Tibetan national flag, he walked to First Avenue directly across from the United Nations headquarters. The institution built on the promise that no people would ever be erased. And there he offered his life in protest. He was 50 years old. By nightfall, he was gone. And by morning, from Dharamshala to Sydney to Taipei to this very Salt Lake City Hall, Tibetans everywhere had lit candles in his name. Who was he? He was one of us, a man who escaped occupation and rebuilt his life from nothing in a foreign land, as so many of us have done. He drove a taxi through the streets of New York by day and served his community by night. He was the president of Tibetan National Congress of New York and New Jersey. He marched in every protest and have never missed once. He mentored young activists. For 2 decades in exile, he carried Tibet in his heart every single day. And in his final hour, he carried a flag. And here I might speak the words of our Sikyong Tempasringla because they are words of wisdom and love. While we honor Lobga devotion, every Tibetan life is precious. Our struggle needs living hearts, living voices, living hands. More than 157 of our brothers and sisters inside Tibet have made the same offering since 2009, and each one is irreplaceable loss to our nation. The truest way to honor our Pawo is not to follow him into the fire. It is to carry his fire within us to live fully and fearlessly for the cause he died for. Brothers and sisters, understand what this law truly is. It is the same machinery of erasure that has taken nearly 1 million Tibetan children as young as 6 years old into colonial boarding schools, separated from their parents, punished for praying, and forbidden to speak in their own language. And we do not stand alone in the suffering. The Uyghur mother whose children were taken to camps in East Turkestan, she knows our pain. The Mongolian herder whose children can no longer study in their mother tongue in southern Mongolia, he knows our pain. The Hong Konger who watched Fury Freedom vanish in a single season, they know our pain. Tonight, our candles burn for all of them because a regime that fears a grandmother's lullaby, a monk's prayer, and a child's alphabet, that regime fears something it can never defeat. And it's the human spirit. And do not think this law stops at Chinese borders. It has a long claw. It reaches across oceans, into New York, into Toronto, into this very valley. For every Tibetan, every Uyghur, every Mongolian, every minority people inside China, and every Chinese brother and sister of conscience who dare to speak the truth about Beijing's records. Through overseas police outposts, through surveillance, through threat against the families we left behind, they want us to look over our shoulder and lower our voices. So hear me clearly tonight. If preserving our language is a crime, we are guilty. If keeping our faith is a crime, we are guilty. And if speaking the truth about suffering of our brothers and sisters inside Tibet is a crime, then we will gladly stand as criminals before this law, but never as cowards before their oppression. We are not afraid. We will not back down. Every threat they send across the ocean does not scatter us. It binds us closer together, and it makes our voice even louder. They built a law to silence 6 million. Instead, they have given 6 million one more reason to speak. And history is on the side of that spirit. Empires far mightier than this one have tried to erase people before. And where are those empires now? Dust and huge of exodus.